Welcome back to the Lifestyles of Broken Broker, featuring myself and Deon. Today we'll explore what it's like actually being a car guy with real cars. This isn't CGI. Would you like to show us around some of your cars? Deon has a few cars, but he's gracious enough to show us the ones that work.
Yeah, all of them don't, but this is one of them. This is my 67 Mustang. You can see I put the California Special side covers, the California Special wing. Don't worry about the body right now. That's gonna be under construction pretty soon.
Now you paint as well, right?
Yep.
This is one of the very few people I know that could actually build a car from like the ground up, outside of like Chip Foose.
Just don't know how to rebuild transmissions. So this is a twin turbo, small block 421. Two 76mm turbos. The motor's roughly 10-to-1 compression. It's on E85. You know, all my stuff got solid roller cams in them, so got that instant power. I probably didn't need to put it in here, but I put it in there anyway. This is my first turbo build. I blew it up once already, clowning, acting stupid. Now it's okay. I've been driving it, so no issues yet. So
Clutches in there. See that alternator in there. You see that starter in there.
get up out of here. Man, that's a whole lot of room in there, my boy. Man, all right, man, I'll see y'all later.
Get out of here. I'm so advanced. I even had him put a backpack on my gosh darn Bronco. There's enough space in this to fit a small woman. And trust me, I know. I put one in here. I always wondered, is there a main difference between the first gen Mustangs? Like, is this like, for example, my grandfather had a 64.5, but I noticed like the side, like the vents.
Yeah, 64.5 to 66 is 2 inches narrower. They got little trinkets that's different, like the rear tail lights. They come to the outside instead of in. It's pretty much the same thing on the inside too. The most desired year that I've heard people ask for would be a 65 or a 66.
Okay.
Then if you come in here and check out these Deon Motorsports gauges, I got custom gauges in there on the cluster.
Oh, you made that?
Yeah, you like that, huh?
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You would never know it's twin turbo.
Can't even see
Unless
them.
you know like V8s. But like you
Yeah.
can't even, you can barely see them. I only see them because you got the little purple best guards on them. It's nice to see how far this car has come, but I know you've been tinkering in the back with some other stuff you got, so let's go and look at that.
All right, well, come on. Yeah.
So as we go down the line, these cars will get significantly cleaner, but in this case,
I'll talk about my truck.
in Australia it's a Ute, but
it's probably, I don't know, it's half and half. I just throw stuff in the back. I don't know what it is.
so to some people you may see SS and be like, is this a Chevelle?
Yeah.
But no, does a Chevelle, so what is this?
This is an El Camino. One thing you can tell the difference between the Chevelle and the El Camino is that the turn signals in the Chevelle are square and the El Camino's round.
Okay, but the same, damn near same front end.
This is my 70 El Camino. Took the motor out and I put this 496 in here.
Was a 496 based off of 454?
Yeah, you gotta pull that out too.
Oh, shoot.
Basically, it's a 454 bored and stroke to a 498. It's 13-to-1 compression on 91 octane.
That carburetor look a lot bigger than the carburetor we used to start my truck.
Oh yeah, that's a Dominator. That's a 4500 series. The regular carburetor like we all normally use is a 4150 style.
Is this another cruiser?
Nah, this one's basically all business, but I drive it around all over the place.
So everything you own, you actually drive. It doesn't just get trailered everywhere and just sit
Yeah.
around and collect dust?
No, I don't trailer it. Only way I'll trailer is like if I know I'm going to the track. I ran this one at Irwindale on the motor. I think this car weighs like 4,200 pounds or whatever. It went 640s at like 108. I know if I put race gas in and I spray it, it should be a 5-second player all day long.
So this is not E85 or it is?
No, this is 91. Actually, the interior is in pretty good shape. That's the only reason why I bought it. But the guy, I'm gonna change the carpet because he cut the carpet up to get a shifter in there. And I'm like, bro, you're supposed to mount the shifter on top of the carpet. But he didn't know. He's like 22. So.
Oh, he's a young kid.
Yeah.
So for the people at home, this is would you say this is like a prized possession for you?
I guess you could say it is.
So what exactly is this for the people at home that keep asking us about this?
Okay, so this is a 65 Shelby Cobra. It's not a real one. It's a backdraft. They have different companies that make these. You got backdraft, Super Performance, Factory 5. I know this one looks better than the Factory 5. So this one has a GT40X motor, 302. I think it makes like 340 horsepower. Has a GT40X head, Ford Racing X cam in it, and it has a 650 quick fuel double pumper carburetor. But it has a world-class T5 transmission in there. That's pretty much all I know about this car.
Not to sound stupid, but like, I know it looks cool, but what made this car so cool?
Bro, it's a factory, I mean, it's a race car.
I like that it just turns on. Like there's no...
I know, I had to sit in that one like...
So question, this or a Viper?
This. I don't want no Viper, bro.
This or a Grand National?
This.
This or a 67 Fastback?
Ah. I'm gonna have to go with the fastback on this one.
A Fastback or a GT40?
God dog, man, why are you asking me these questions?
Because you're a Ford guy, so I gotta know, like, on your pinnacle of Ford, like...
GT40.
I don't know anything above a GT40 unless you own Ford.
Yeah, that's that car, yeah. It's practically in the same class with this one.
Is it? Do I fit?
See if you can get in there.
Man, ooh,
That seat hot up.
Yeah.
Hey, you got them shorts on, you should have some pants on.
This is comfortable. They don't got no vents though. Where the AC?
You ain't got no AC on that, man. This is the AC.
You know what I just remembered? We still gotta work on this Bronco.
Oh yeah.
Ah, shit.
Well, come on, man. You got stuff to do.
Do I?
I'm watching today.
You watching?
No, I'm helping.
All right. All right. Let me get it. Hey, we got to get back to work. It's enough of this.
Let's say playtime's over.
How are we going to get this transmission from a Chevy to work on a Ford?
So first things first, always wear your PPE. I don't know where mine at, but anyway, I cut off the bell housing part, which bolts to the Chevy engine. You cut it off, and then you have to buy an aftermarket bell housing in order for it to bump to the pump, and then it takes the place of the actual bell housing that was on the transmission. Even though it bolts to the transmission, doesn't make it any weaker, anything like that. It's actually SF fireproof, so it's really thick, and it's safety. Torque converter or the flex plate decide they want to let go, it's not gonna come through the, through the bell housing. It could come through the floor and chop his leg off.
The last thing I needed is to look like Lieutenant Dan from Forrest Gump and have no legs.
Kiss my crippled ass.
Because we here at Hoonigan know one thing. We don't make wheelchairs at all. I can barely build a Bronco. Imagine me come.
Yeah, he needs mental help, so.
What we doing first?
You gotta disconnect this so we can take the carburetor off.
Okay, did I get the right size? No.
That's like a 5/8 or something.
Hey, from what's his name? Girl, let me see it. Mr. Steve is here, and he brought the transmission. Oh shit, that's my transmission? That shit's shiny. If you don't mind telling me, Mr. Sharp, what exactly did you do to this transmission?
Built all the way through, Kevlar low rear band, high energy front band, best racing clutches there are, installed heavy duty sprag, I put a case saver snap ring in it too, just to stop any hereditary stuff that 400s have a tendency of doing, but it's like a $20 snap ring, but it goes in and it strengthens it, immensely. Pump is reworked, converter pressure is reduced down, put the deep cast aluminum pan on it. Yeah, see, this is where the section right here sometimes wants to hit. So, see this O-ring right there? You gotta make sure you have an O-ring in every one of these.
Oh, wow.
So, clearance. It's got plenty of clearance there. And down there, it's got clearance.
There you go. He-Man, I have the power. You just weak.
The pan has cooling fins in it.
It does.
I don't think my last pan had cooling fins.
Probably did. The one that was on there?
Yeah.
No, it was chrome. Chrome hold heat too.
It doesn't dissipate?
That dissipate heat is aluminum. And we got everything bolted up and had an engine in by 3 o'clock.
That sounds perfect to me.
Come on now, we got to get cracking.
We got this?
I tried to find a transmission mount. I don't have a spare one, but we can still get the trans in there. Boom, shaka laka. Give me the heavy end.
Well, I lifted the motherfucker back here by myself.
Well, that's because it's your transmission. Oh, okay, Johnny Bravo.
Little mama.
Let's get this off.
All right. Do we need to put anything over this?
Yes, we need to put the lift plate on there. Why would you smell the gas?
I like, oh. You want my Yu-Gi-Oh voice? It's time to duel.
Oh, this juice got carried in.
I was looking for that.
I guess we can set it down, tie the transmission up to the back of the motor.
Okay.
And then
Swoop swabble it in.
see if we can just swoosh it in there. If not, we're gonna take it back off and then put the motor in. Cause I don't think we can slide that trans underneath the truck.
I mean, this is lighter than what we had, but what's gonna hold it, just the jack?
It's easy though.
Yeah, I mean, this is, bro, we both lifted this. I'm about to pinch my shit. Damn, hoser.
No. I got it.
You scared the shit out of me.
You gotta push it forward.
Okay.
Cause what you gotta do is you gotta push it forward and I gotta swing it over the truck. Come on. All right. Slow your roll. Go a little bit more. All right, hold on.
Push and watch your left foot. There we go.
All right, hold on.
There we go. All right, coming down, 1, 2, 3. Too fast?
Just a little bit. Hold on. Not no more.
All right, coming down, 1, 2, 3.
All right, there you go. All right, shove it in some.
All right, coming 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right, we good?
Lay it down some.
Coming down. 1, 2, 3. Watch your fingers.
Be sure that distributor not up against the top. All right, stop.
All right.
Okay. Let it down some.
All right, coming down.
Not fast.
Coming
Slow.
slow. I'm trying to crack it. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
More?
Hold on.
Coming down.
The other cookie's just a regular chocolate chip, Gary.
Slower? Is it going down or am I stupid?
It's going down.
Okay.
All right, stop. We got to go over that way.
To the left?
Uh-huh.
So the exciting part is, I think when we get this engine get the engine in, once we know we have everything, this is the mock-up. Once we get the headers and all that, we make sure it fits. Engine's in, headers on, get all the clearances right and the tolerances. And then from there, I'm talking tolerances like I built the engine. Get it in there and then take everything out, put the engine in and put all the accessories and everything on it and then fucking it's butter, baby. Drop it?
Yeah, go
You
ahead.
good on your side?
Yeah.
Ooh, daddy. You see that? You see that, huh? You see that? You see that? Look at that right there. The oil filter and the oil filter spot. Look, the oil pan barely clear.
It's in there though. Huh?
But it's got, you see, I could probably put a weenie in there, Oscar Mayer. But it's in there, bro. You see that? You see what's in there? That's a Ford engine in a Ford. As much shit as I talk about V8s and LS power this and LS power that, I've never said that. I originally thought I was gonna put an LS in here. Deon is the one who convinced me to stay Ford. Michael Cox convinced me to stay Ford. Darren Parsons, he said, man, what came in it? I said, a Ford? He said, put a Ford back in it.
Easy.
Don't make your life harder.
Yeah, man.
Let alone go carbureted. And the fact that I feel a sense of accomplishment because I'm doing it with Deon. I didn't say, Deon, let me throw some cash at you. Deon said, get your lazy black ass back here and get your engine out your fucking truck. And that's what we did. That's what we did. And the combination of Deon, knowledge and effort, and just me being able to turn a wrench, there is a fully built 408 in here.
Just little stuff now. We just got to make that transmission cross member, get it fired up, let it run so the rear main seal and the front seal will seal up, and we got to see if we can get some headers on there too. So that's the first thing. We got to see if we get headers on.
I'm highly excited. Like, it's one of those, like, how do I put this? Sorry for talking so long. I'm having more fun building this than the Skyline. Because the Skyline, it was kind of like I've built Nissans. Like I've built 240s, I've helped build 240s. So it's all kind of like copy paste. Like
Oh, so this is something that you ain't never did.
I've never done Ford things. I've had a Mercury Sable, but now, let me borrow your computer. Hey, somebody at home, let me borrow your computer, your home computer. Let me use the line wire. I'm trying to download that new 56 Get Rich or Die Trying.
Stupid.